Welcome back to Q-SAQ's instructional videos. If you are contemplating whether you want to purchase an MWD radar sensor to replace the ground loops, or you have scheduled a new install for an MWD radar sensor, this next how-to video I will show you how easy it is to install the MWD radar sensor, program it, and for the testing. This radar sensor is a very easy to install and maintain product. Here are the 3 holes that will come pre-drilled in your gate. You will take the wires from the sensor and thread them through the center hole. Hold the sensor while you screw in the bolts to secure the product. To wire into the control board, you will need white, brown, gray, red, and pink. The rest of the wires you are going to fold down. Pay attention to the wires. There's only a slight difference between the white and gray wire. First, secure the brown wire in terminal 3. Secure the white wire in terminal 4. Next, secure the gray wire in terminal 23. Secure the red wire in terminal 24. And secure the pink wire in terminal 35. Lastly, turn your gate on. Now I'd like to introduce you to Travis, our technical support manager.
Hello everyone. Today we're going to go over the initial setup of the PHY MWD sensor through the mobile app, available on Google Play or the Apple Store.
Alright, the first thing we're going to do is open Scanner Assistant. And if we hold our phone close to the sensor, you'll see that it comes up a little faster. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that serial number. Let it connect. Alright. So now what we want to do is start Setup Assistant. And this is our barrier boom menu. We can select our positioning of the sensor in relation to the boom by either left, middle, or right. Our setup will be a right hand mount. Height above the road for the barrier boom. If we move this slider, we can adjust that. We're going to set that about 42 inches. Okay. Barrier boom from the sensor. This is going to be the length of your arm. And I'm going to just set that at 125 inches. Next. So this will do is we can adapt our safety areas to the opening area to the size of the boom. So I'm going to go ahead and adapt those right now. Driving direction, we are left to right, but we can change the direction to right to left. In advanced settings, we have sensitivity. We're going to leave that at 3 right now. Here we can adjust the height of the sensor from the road. As you see on the animation, it moves with that. We're going to go to 32. Alright, distance to barrier boom. Typically that is a 0. So if we were mounted right underneath the boom. Mounting angle is 30 degrees with the bracket that is shipped with the sensor, so we're going to leave that alone. Safety area. This is where we'll set the length of the safety area. The width is already set to the barrier boom, as you saw earlier when we adapted our settings. So advanced. So we can move the sensor further or away from the curve with this setting and leave that at 0. Distance to barrier. I would like it just a little before. Yes. A little wider past the boom. You can also adapt it to the middle if you like. Object detection, we're going to use vehicles and pedestrians, so all. Extended safety is disabled. Our output for our safety area is going to be normally closed contact. And then there's a toggle to trigger the safety area also when there is a vehicle in the opening area. Let's go ahead, I'm going to leave that off. Your opening area is the same. We're going to adjust the length, how long we want that opening area to be, how close you have to be to the boom in order for the gate to open. The width is already set to the boom length, so we're going to leave that alone. Object detection can also include pedestrians, but we're just going to use vehicles in this case. Traffic suppression is low. We can adjust this from low, middle, or high, or we can turn it off completely. This is in case you have another lane that is directly across from the lane that you are using the sensor on. And here we can adjust with each tick box the direction of the movement of traffic. So approaching, departing, or we can have a bidirectional lane. We're just going to do approaching. Here we can, like the safety area, we can move the opening area in or out from the curb, or closer or further away from the safety area. You can also just tick this box and it will align it, butt it up directly with the safety area. Blanking static objects. It's set to never, but after we teach in the environment, this will allow you to remove the sensor to remove a object that would be set into, say, the opening area and like a cone or perhaps a snow pile or something. So let's give that a 5 minutes, just so that we don't have to go back and reteach in the environment every time that there's another item added to the field. We'll leave that output activated because we are going to use our opening field. We're going to use a normally open contact type. For our gate, we only require a single pulse of 200 milliseconds to open the gate. And additional testing, we'll leave that off. Now we'll teach in the environment. It's really important when we teach in the environment that no one or no temporary objects are in the field, just so that the sensor can pick up everything that's in all the static objects in the environment, and you'll have a good clean field where once an item enters it, go ahead and detect if it's a vehicle and raise the gate. So let's start our teaching. Alright, environment was teached in. So let's go ahead and hit next. In our advanced configuration, we can do an additional teach-in of the barrier boom in the event that the sensor sees the boom coming down and immediately raises it because it sees an object in the safety field. This is really handy if you get what I call the boom bounce, where the boom will come down, the eye will see the boom, and it will immediately raise it, and it will come right back down and do this about 2 or 3 times before it stays in the up position. So we could teach in that boom, and then if you go to advanced settings, you can also set the tolerance for this from low, medium, or high. So something to think about if you run into that kind of condition. Let's continue our configuration. Back into advanced. Output 3 will be the blue wire on the sensor. We can set this up for several different things. Drive-through detection as a back-off sensor, or it can create a closing pulse at the end, or at the other end of the opening field if you have a bidirectional lane. So go through each one and show you how it changes those fields. And we can activate or deactivate that output and a normally open or normally closed contact type. So let's go ahead and toggle that off because we will not be using the blue wires in this configuration. Blanking areas. This is a good way for you to add a blanking area inside a field if you have, like a sort of flag or banner or anything that moves dynamically inside your field here. So we can add blanking blocks to wherever we like. And those are just accomplished using your slides to move it to wherever you'd like. I'm just going to delete that. Go back. Error handling for how the sensor reacts whenever there's an error. Leave that alone. And LED settings. So the LEDs typically deactivate after 3 minutes. We can either leave them permanently deactivated or leave them permanently activated. Either all or output.